Hey everybody, I'm Jamie, health and wellness coach. Today I felt led to make a video all about something called the monkey mind. I don't know if any of you have ever heard of this before, but it is a Buddhist saying describing, I'm sure you can probably already guess what this is, especially if you experience it. But it's this concept where we as human beings, a lot of the time, our minds are behaving like monkeys. We are sort of wildly swinging from branch to branch, and it's somewhere between what happened in the past and what's going to happen in the future. And that just isn't the healthiest, easiest way to be. Being implies that you are, here now. It's really not about doing or trying or working or anything. Really, it's really just about your ability to be. So many of us have such a difficult time sort of dropping down that story, the story, the masks we have on, the roles we play, the things that we sort of deem to be important, but at the end of the day, they're more just like superficial things, more like preoccupations that sort of keep us looking at past circumstances or things that happened, or worrying about future circumstances, things that may happen. And our minds as humans, we tend to always lean toward the negative. And I think much of that is actually just sort of a survival thing. I think we're kind of hardwired to be sort of on guard all of the time, making sure that, there's nothing out here or out there that's going to sort of threaten our way of being, or our lives for that matter. But when we start to believe that all of these other things are important, we start to give weight to stories that may or may not even be true, because we're so busy reacting and trying to hold all the pieces of this story together, right? So that we don't have to change or adapt or feel any sort of discomfort from what we were already experiencing. I think that we tend to not want to slow down and sort of pick those things apart until all of a sudden it becomes so overwhelming that you're kind of forced to, right? This is the overwhelming so much you can't even think straight. This is the anxiety to the point where you're not feeling safe enough to even go outside of your home. These things that happen to us that we sometimes feel, but it's been so long, or maybe it's been never, that we've been taught that, it's okay to slow down and sort of check out, and maybe even dare to take control of or question those thoughts that are just sort of running around, ricocheting around like monkeys. So I actually have a little meditation, a little guided imagery, if you will, of ways that I like to sort of attempt to get those little monkeys under control. This is a technique I use often with clients, and if you've ever done yoga with me before, I use this sometimes at the beginning of a class. And the idea is just for a minute to experience what it's like to put yourself in control, rather than being a bystander or a witness to, or a victim even, if you will, of your own thoughts just rapidly swinging around in your brain, branch to branch. This is a way to sort of direct them. Give yourself some space to observe them. So if you want, if you've got some stress and maybe 5 or 6 minutes to experience this, I'd be happy to show you how that goes. And it's very simple. I just want you to find a place, a quiet place where you can sit and close your eyes for a few minutes. And I'm going to invite you to lay your hands over your heart and just close your eyes and begin taking some deep breaths. In through the nose. And nice and slow out through the mouth. Go ahead, keep breathing in and out. And I want you to imagine yourself sitting in a field of dandelions. You will notice some are bright yellow and some maybe haven't opened yet. And some, they're way past their prime and now they're those gray fluff balls. Those are the ones you're after today. You want to find yourself a nice, big, fluffy dandelion in the midst of your field. And I'm going to invite you to go to that dandelion and to sit down next to it. And one by one, all of those distracting thoughts that you have, maybe for some reason you're worried about whether you turned off the coffee pot this morning. Maybe you're worried about the bills that you have to pay. Maybe you're worried about picking the kids up or getting the rest of your to-do list done. Maybe you're feeling the pressure of work deadlines. Maybe you're in conflict with a colleague or a boss or your spouse. Whatever it is, all that it is, gently just shrink those things, those perceived problems, all of the distractions. Shrink them up into little ants if you want, or just shrink them and make them small and hang them on this dandelion you have in front of you. One by one, just pick them up. Honey, I Shrunk the Kids them and hang them on this dandelion. And after a while of hanging that stuff on there, consciously conjuring it all up, becoming fully aware of all of these distractions, all of this stuff that prevents you from being alone, connecting with yourself and your thoughts. Put all of this stuff on the dandelion. And I want you to take a step back from this dandelion, and I want you to look at all of these things hanging on there. And you're gonna take a nice, deep breath. And on the count of 3, I'm gonna ask you to blow it. And you're gonna scatter those seeds of that dandelion, the fluff ball, you're gonna scatter it away from you. You're gonna blow it across this field. And when you're done blowing these thoughts away, you are going to feel so much peace and relaxation, like a weight has just lifted off of you. So take that nice deep breath. And 1, 2, 3. Blow those things away from you. And take another deep breath, noticing the space you feel within and around you. Notice the quiet. What do you hear? What does it feel like? What do you see? Set the intention right now that if a thought comes back, or as a thought comes back, you're simply just going to observe that thought. Just be with it. Let it be there, let it come, and then let it go. Honoring that ability you've created for yourself right now. That you absolutely have the power to do that. Choose to make a mental note of that thought for later, or choose that it's not important in the first place and dismiss it. Continuing to breathe nice deep breaths. Soaking in this feeling that you feel. Finally making peace out of the chaos. Setting this intention that you can do this again whenever you want to. And that a little bit of this peace that you feel, a little bit of this control that you now have, is going to come back with you to the conscious reality when you return. One more nice deep breath. And you're going to begin to wiggle your fingers and your toes and blink your eyes, and all of a sudden, you're back. How do you feel now? Do you feel relief maybe in your forehead? Do you feel a sense of centeredness that maybe wasn't there before? A sense of calm or confidence that maybe has returned back to you? I hope so. That was the intention. Thanks for tuning in. I'm glad to share that with you. I hope this helps to control your monkey mind. I hope that moving forward, you become more aware of that and the tendencies that we have to do those things to us, and the benefits that can come from taking control of those thoughts and managing them well.